We expect more court documents to be released at any moment in a case involving the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his former girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell. The names of several people connected to Epstein have already been unsealed, including former politicians and celebrities and a member of the British royal family. Hundreds of pages of previously sealed court documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are now public. The information in the files is not new to authority, but the public is getting eyes on it for the first time. Inside documents reveal an anti-monarchy group reported Britain's Prince Andrew to police. An old groping allegation against him is part of the release. It's a claim he denies.
If there's any kind of criminal impropriety, I would have thought that law enforcement and the federal government would have gotten there a long time ago, and they would have done an investigation well before we learned about these names now.
The paperwork is part of a long-settled defamation suit brought by Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's accusers, filed against his former partner and girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. While Maxwell sits in prison, she maintains her innocence. Giuffre claimed Epstein ordered her to have sex with powerful men, including Prince Andrew, on 3 occasions, which he has denied. The prince settled a lawsuit with Giuffre in 2022 and said he could not recall meeting her, and he told the BBC this photo of the two of them could be fake.
Absolutely no memory of that photograph ever being taken.
Giuffre claims she was a teen sex slave for Epstein, describing in a 2019 interview with the Miami Herald how she was trained to act.
The training started immediately. How to be quiet, be subservient, give Jeffrey what he wants. A lot of this training came from Ghislaine herself.
Former President Bill Clinton is also named in the documents. Giuffre did not allege any wrongdoing by Clinton, but her lawyers sought testimony from him after she claimed she had dinner with him on Epstein's private island. Maxwell called that a lie, and Clinton's spokesperson denied Clinton was ever on the island. After Giuffre's allegations became public, the documents show Epstein emailed Maxwell seeming to offer advice, saying, quote, "You can issue a reward to any of Virginia's friends, acquaintances, family that come forward and help prove her allegations are false. The strongest is the Clinton dinner." Also in those documents, a deposition from a witness who said she met Michael Jackson and magician David Copperfield during her time with Epstein. And when asked if she ever gave a massage to Donald Trump, the witness responded, no.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.